city buzzed with life as hovercrafts zipped through the air and autonomous cars glided effortlessly along streets lined with holographic billboards. Amidst this technological utopia stood ECTOLIFE, a towering dome-like structure that gleamed under the morning sun. Its sleek design, a combination of glass and steel, reflected not only the light but also the aspirations of humanity. This was no ordinary building. It was the culmination of decades of research and innovation, a facility that promised to redefine the very concept of reproduction. Inside, the atmosphere was hushed but electric, filled with the subtle hum of advanced machinery. Rows upon rows of transparent pods lined the expansive walls, each one softly glowing with life. These artificial wombs, suspended in temperature-controlled chambers, housed the embryos of the future. Tiny hearts beat rhythmically within the amniotic-like fluid, a testament to the cutting-edge science at work. Dr. Layla Arman walked through the main atrium, her white lab coat trailing behind her. Her sharp, intelligent eyes scanned the room as she spoke to a group of journalists who had gathered for an exclusive tour. Layla was no stranger to the spotlight. As the visionary scientist behind ECTOLIFE, she had become a global figure, both revered and criticized for her groundbreaking work. ECTOLIFE is not just a facility, she began, her voice steady and filled with conviction. It is a revolution. For centuries, human reproduction has been bound by biology, fraught with risks, complications, and inequalities. We have now transcended those limitations. She gestured toward the rows of pods as the journalists followed her gaze. Each of these artificial wombs is designed to replicate the natural environment of a mother's uterus. From nutrient delivery to waste management, every aspect has been meticulously engineered to ensure optimal growth and development. A holographic screen emerged from the floor, displaying a 3D model of the artificial womb system. Dr. Arman continued, her tone infused with pride. Parents can monitor their baby's development in real time. They can track everything: heartbeat, brain activity, growth milestones, and even make adjustments if needed. For example, if there's a risk of genetic disorders, we can intervene early to correct them. The journalists murmured among themselves, a mixture of awe and skepticism in their expressions. One of them raised a hand. Dr. Arman, some critics argue that this technology is unnatural, that it's an affront to the sanctity of life. What do you say to that? Layla paused, choosing her words carefully. Nature has always been our guide, but it's not without flaws. For every successful birth, countless others are lost to complications, genetic disorders, or lack of access to medical care. ECTOLIFE isn't about replacing nature, it's about enhancing it. We're giving every child a chance at a healthy life and every parent the ability to experience the joy of raising a family, regardless of biological limitations. She led the group deeper into the facility, where a young couple stood before one of the pods, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the life within. This is Clara and Aiden Rivera, Layla said, introducing them. Clara suffers from a rare condition that makes traditional pregnancy impossible. Thanks to ECTOLIFE, they're now expecting their first child. Clara turned to the group, her voice trembling with emotion. This is a miracle for us. We've been trying for years, and now we're finally going to be parents. The journalists captured the moment, but behind the smiles and cameras, questions lingered. While the technology was undeniably impressive, its implications were vast and unsettling. Could humanity truly wield this power responsibly? Layla, sensing the undercurrent of doubt, addressed the group one last time. I understand the concerns. Change is always met with resistance. But consider this. Every great leap in history, from fire to flight, was once seen as unnatural. ECTOLIFE is not the end of natural reproduction. It's the beginning of a future where life is free from unnecessary suffering. As she walked away, her words hung in the air, a blend of promise and provocation. In the sterile halls of ECTOLIFE, the seeds of the future were being sown, but what would grow from them was a question no one could yet answer. ECTOLIFE quickly became a global sensation, its promise of revolutionizing reproduction captivating millions. Within months of its launch, the facility saw an influx of applications from hopeful parents worldwide. For many, it was a beacon of hope, a way to overcome infertility, avoid hereditary diseases, or ensure the health of their child. News outlets ran continuous stories about the innovation, labeling it the dawn of a new era. Inside the sleek facility, Clara and Aidan Rivera stood in awe, watching their embryo suspended in its artificial womb. The pod's interface displayed real-time metrics, a steady heartbeat, optimal oxygen levels, and projected growth milestones. Aidan squeezed Clara's hand. "It's amazing, isn't it? We can see our baby grow every step of the way." Clara nodded, her eyes glistening with emotion. Nearby, other parents gathered in similar awe, their faces a mix of wonder and relief. Personalized holographic dashboards allowed them to interact with the process, from selecting nutrient blends to monitoring neural development. For many, ECTOLIFE offered what had once been unthinkable: control and peace of mind. Beyond the hopeful parents, ECTOLIFE scientists were pushing boundaries in other areas. The facility began exploring applications beyond reproduction, such as custom-grown organs for transplants and bioengineered tissues for medical advancements. The artificial wombs proved to be versatile, sparking discussions about their potential to eradicate organ shortages. However, the rapid rise of ECTOLIFE was not without controversy. Protests erupted outside the facility, with activists waving signs that read, "Life is sacred, not synthetic," and "Stop playing God." Critics questioned the ethics of genetic customization, fearing a future where humanity might prioritize perfection over diversity. Inside a dimly lit boardroom, Dr. Layla Arman addressed her team. "We expected resistance. Innovation always challenges the status quo, but we must continue proving that ECTOLIFE is a tool for equality, not division." As debates raged across the globe, ECTOLIFE remained a symbol of both possibility and uncertainty, its advancements forcing society to confront the limits of science and the ethics of life itself. The rising debate around ECTOLIFE reached a fever pitch as the world split into two factions: those who celebrated its potential and those who condemned it as a dangerous overreach. Governments, ethicists, and religious leaders convened emergency summits to grapple with the implications of artificial womb technology. Headlines were dominated by discussions of bioethics, human rights, and the risks of commercialization. Dr. Layla Arman stood at the forefront of the storm, defending her creation. In a high-profile televised interview, she argued passionately, "ECTOLIFE is not about control or perfection. It's about opportunity. Imagine a world free of genetic disorders where no child is born into suffering. That's not playing God. It's alleviating unnecessary pain." But the opposition was fierce. Dr. Theo Briggs, a former colleague turned vocal critic, emerged as the face of the resistance. "This technology threatens to commodify life itself," he declared during a heated debate. What's next? Designer humans? Entire populations engineered for specific traits? We must set limits before it's too late. Meanwhile, troubling reports surfaced, suggesting unauthorized experiments within ECTOLIFE. Whistleblowers hinted at secret projects involving enhanced cognitive abilities and accelerated growth rates. Though Layla denied these allegations, they fueled the growing distrust surrounding the facility. Outside ECTOLIFE, protests grew larger and more violent. Demonstrators clashed with law enforcement as they demanded the facility's shutdown. In response, an emergency international council convened to determine the future of artificial womb technology. As Layla prepared to present her case to the council, Theo confronted her privately. In a futuristic lab, a 3D holographic chatbot, Hollow AI, activates, its lifelike figure glowing softly. "Hello, I'm Hollow AI. How can I assist you today?" it asks, its voice warm and inviting. Technician Sarah steps forward. "What's the weather forecast for Tokyo tomorrow?" The hologram gestures, pulling up a holographic display. "Tomorrow in Tokyo, expect rain with a high of 68 degrees Fahrenheit." Sarah continues, "Translate this. Technology shapes the future." Holo AI responds instantly, "La technologie façonne l'avenir." Testing its computational skills, Sarah asks, "What's 7 and 32 divided by 12? Without hesitation, it replies, "The answer is 61. For a scenario test, Sarah asks, "Plan a healthy dinner for two." The hologram projects a menu: grilled salmon, quinoa, and steamed vegetables. "Shall I email the recipe?" Impressed by its seamless interaction, Sarah nods, noting Holo AI's accuracy and intuitive design as the test concludes. The screen fades into a serene, futuristic city. Smart drones glide through the air, delivering packages, while self-driving vehicles hum along pristine roads lined with lush greenery. A narrator begins speaking. In 2030, Nokia envisions a world where technology transforms lives, businesses, and the planet. The scene transitions to a bustling factory where robotic arms powered by 6G networks work with precision. Workers use augmented reality glasses to monitor processes in real time. Nokia's 6G technology connects everything seamlessly, enabling industries to achieve unprecedented efficiency and sustainability. A classroom appears. Students interact with holographic models of the solar system. A teacher remotely joins via an immersive virtual environment. Education transcends borders, fostering learning through immersive experiences powered by next-generation networks. The scene shifts to a rural village. A farmer uses a smart tablet to monitor crops, supported by AI-driven insights. Inclusivity drives Nokia's vision. From urban hubs to remote communities, connectivity empowers progress. The final scene shows a vibrant Earth from space, surrounded by a constellation of satellites. At Nokia, we innovate with purpose, building a future where technology bridges the gap between dreams and reality. The logo appears with the tagline, Nokia, shaping the future together. Fade to black. The camera pans across a bustling, futuristic cityscape where towering skyscrapers gleam under the light of two setting suns. A sleek hovercraft lands on the rooftop of a research facility. A young scientist, Dr. Elara Quinn, steps out, clutching a metallic briefcase. Her determined expression contrasts with the chaos of the city below. Inside the facility, a sprawling laboratory hums with advanced machinery. Elara approaches a central console where a cylindrical device stands, the Meta Orion. Its surface pulses with a faint, otherworldly glow. Initiating Phase 1, Elara says, typing commands into the console. A holographic projection of spacetime unfolds above the device. The lab's AI, a calm, disembodied voice, responds. Temporal coordinates locked. Proceed with caution. Elara places the briefcase on a table, opening it to reveal a shimmering crystal. She carefully installs it into the Meta Orion, the device emitting a low hum that crescendos into a deep vibration. The room shakes slightly, and a portal begins to form, swirling with fragments of light and shadow. Before Elara can celebrate, an alarm blares. A team of shadowy agents bursts in, led by Commander Kale, a former colleague turned adversary. Step away from the device, Elara, Kale commands. Elara doesn't flinch. You don't understand, Kale. The Meta Orion isn't just a time machine. It's our only chance to prevent the collapse. Kale smirks. And rewrite history to suit your vision? I don't think so. The agents advance, weapons drawn. Elara activates the Meta Orion, and the portal intensifies. I won't let you stop me, she says, stepping into the vortex. Kale dives after her, and both are engulfed in the swirling light. The scene shifts. Elara and Kale emerge into a prehistoric jungle, their surroundings starkly different from the city they left. Dinosaurs roam in the distance, and a massive volcano looms. Kale aims his weapon. This ends now. Elara smiles faintly, holding a small remote. Not yet, Kale. The future depends on what we do next. She presses a button, and the Meta Orion reactivates, opening another portal as the screen fades to black.